being Chinese, I'm not usually impressed. But I'm actually super impressed with how aggressive Hong Kong is pursuing this Web3 blockchain agenda. So I just actually finished Hong Kong Fintech Week. It was actually, you guys can see that it's over there. In that convention center, it drew more than 30,000 different people from the financial industry. And this is an event organized by the government of Hong Kong. This is actually the Treasury Bureau plus Invest HK. It brought a lot of traditional money in, and guess what? All of them are excited for what's going to happen with Web3. So I want to make a rundown video about what impressed me. There were really three factors. I kind of made a list. So number one was how aggressive the policies are. Number two was resilience. And number three is something you don't want to miss out on because there are some things holding investors back. So we're going to cover all those because I think the last part especially is what interests you guys, because you guys are all interested in like, when are the Asians going to buy? Where's the pump? Where's pump? Pump is coming, but there's few hurdles the Chinese want to see resolved before everything pops. So we're going to cover everything in that video. So guys, my name is Michael. Welcome back to Boxmining, and I want to show you everything that is happening in the crypto scene, especially what's happening in Hong Kong. Let's get started. This video is sponsored by Bybit. So Bybit is becoming a super powerful exchange. So initially they started off with derivatives trading, but what's also interesting is that the spot trades are all free. But on top of that, right now we have a very exclusive offer for anyone viewers of this channel, Boxmining, and that is 3 iPhone 15 Pro Max, the titanium ones that are really hot right now. Yeah, what are you waiting for? It's actually one of the best offers and one of the best times to join Bybit Exchange. All right, before we start, I do want to get one thing straight, which is where we are in the world. So I'm based in Hong Kong right now. This is Hong Kong. It's a little fun city with a little island. And this is China. So China's really huge right here. So Hong Kong is part of China. But what's interesting, if you actually see this little dark line, that marks the border between Hong Kong and the rest of mainland China. Hong Kong is a little bit different. Hong Kong, we're in a special region. So being in the special region, we're allowed to have a separate legal system, separate financial system. We're allowed to experiment. And what's interesting is that in China, crypto is banned. Okay, period. Banned. But in Hong Kong, there has been a huge U-turn of policy recently. This is why we're covering everything here. And this U-turn is seen to be a test for what's going to happen in China, We have a different system here. So China doesn't mind if they use us as a guinea pig for testing the future. And boy, have we been some of the craziest guinea pigs. So first and foremost, Hong Kong has issued out virtual asset trading platform operators, VAS for short. It's basically a legal way to get exchanges launched in Hong Kong. And there's various licenses, basically type 1 and type 7 regulated activities. They issued out 2 of these licenses so far, with more coming. But what's very interesting is that the Hashkey exchange is the first exchange to launch with the VASP license. That's kind of crazy because I literally have the app right here. Let me show you guys. Okay, seeing this, I feel like everything's flipped around. I guess I kind of inverted this video, but anyways, you get the picture. But this exchange has already launched. What's also very interesting is they actually launched it with a token, the HSK. I was like, huh? They launched it in the regulated exchange with their own token. Crazy, because this has gone through, this must have gone through multiple layers of regulation because the government must make sure that the first regulated exchange is super legit. So they jumped through the hurdles to get this done. So I was very surprised that this is happening, especially even the news was surprised. So even after the fallout of one of the scam exchanges in Hong Kong that kind of really pissed off a lot of retail, they scammed a lot of retail here. Hashkey launched the exchange with their own token. They listed the Uniswap token. That's aggressive. I thought they'll play it safe like the Japanese, but no. They started listing different coins now, and the rule that I asked, the regulatory rule that I asked is the token must be listed on an index for at least a year before it gets listed on Hashkey. But a year is not a very long time, and there's a lot of tokens for them to list. So That's the number one surprise in terms of aggression. Number two, slightly related to this, is a change in banking. So this is okay. This is actually off camera, but there was a booth for a Hong Kong virtual bank called ZA Bank. I said a. So ZA Bank is working with Hashkey Group. This is actually quite crazy because off the camera we asked them, hey, if we took money from crypto and deposit in your bank, are you gonna be okay with that? Are you gonna be friendly with that? And they're like, hell yeah, yep. Like we're like, is it okay we put like a Hong Kong $1 million in one shot? No problem. So that's actually quite insane because Hong Kong was very, very anti-crypto for the longest period of time, and we were treated like lepers, right? If you know me, we were being like if anyone touched crypto and people at bank knew you were in crypto, back in the day they would have closed their accounts. But nowadays, yeah, these banks are working together. The whole banking system is just changing and moving around Web3. So we actually see this happening right now. The second very aggressive action Hong Kong has taken is they've started talking about Bitcoin ETF. This is nuts because in America, they're actively trying to ban these ETFs for the longest period of time. But when Hong Kong goes, it just goes. So what happened is that the CEO of the Security Futures Commission, which is our version of the SEC, she came out to talk, yeah, they're welcoming and exploring and looking into ETFs for Bitcoin in Hong Kong. It's the agency reaching out to the media. This is this is the CEO of the SFC reaching out to Bloomberg to give public statements about this. Think about it. In America, the chair of the SEC can't even decide if Bitcoin's a security. Let's play this clip.
Bitcoin is not a security. Is that true?
Well, I think the staff of the SEC have also, and the prior chair.
I'm just asking you this question, and this is not a gotcha. I thought this was going to be an easy softball into harder questions. Do you think Bitcoin is a security?
No, I think I've said this in the past that I think that it's.
I'm asking you to answer my question now. This is not supposed to be hard.
I know. I said it does not meet the Howey test, which is the law of the land about being.
So it doesn't meet the Howey test. So therefore, it's a commodity. Is that fair?
I would say it's not a security, and then the test is otherwise for other laws.
I mean, there's a huge change between what we saw there, what's happening in the States, with what's happening in Hong Kong, which is the literal CEO of the SFC coming out and saying, yeah, we're looking into this, like this is, and when Asians talk and say, hey, we're looking into this, the decision's pretty much made. Otherwise, they won't reach out for the press. They're just testing the waters. It's just a matter of time, right? So it's very, very big difference between, just, sorry, I need to bring up the proper article there. But it's a very, very big difference here. And by Hong Kong allowing this to happen, it will bring a huge number of institutional investors and, of course, retail investors to come in and let's explore this. And Hong Kong being a financial hub in Asia, this is what we do. It's all about money here. There's money. But this is actually pretty huge for the Asian market. And just a shameless plug too, if you guys want to see the full video of what there is, there's a few more surprises that happened at this event. But check out the full video, the conference video. You guys will be pretty pleasantly surprised. The next topic I want to talk about is resilience. Okay, this is very interesting because Hong Kong actually had its own retail-based scam, a crypto scam that explicitly targeted retail, and this is called JPEX. So JPEX stood for Japan Exchange. And this name by itself was already deceptive because this is made by Hong Kong people. But they named themselves Japan Exchange in order to get around the regulatory hurdles. Basically, if it's a Hong Kong exchange, it has to be regulated by the SFC, and they don't have the vast license. So they went out and called themselves Japan Exchange. This is so shady because, Japan has their own rules and regulations, and they don't have any of those licenses. So it's like a scam by name from the get-go, right? But this exchange, it frauded literally 1.56 billion Hong Kong dollars, and this was targeting retail. So this was bad. This was it just made Hong Kong look bad, and the police went full out to arrest as many people as they can connected to JPEX. JPEX spent the crazy part about JPEX was like they spent crazy amounts of money advertising JPEX on literally like all the MTR walls. So like on the metro walls in Hong Kong, on buses and everywhere. They were trying to get as many retail in as possible, and then they just freaking rug pulled. So I would have thought after JPEX, the Hong Kong government would just, play it safe, not talk about crypto, stay away from Web3 for a little bit of time. But no. They went full force at this event. And just as a side note here, I actually think there's a lot of mainland Chinese influence in all the policies in Hong Kong. If it was just purely Hong Kong, I think the Hong Kong government would have waited a while for public sentiment to shift about crypto before going headfirst into Web3. But there's a certain urgency that I see from mainland Chinese government that could be that they're trying to make sure that Hong Kong and the rest of China has a foot into Web3, which is why there's such an aggressive push for Web3 in Hong Kong. So anyways, that's just a mini side note for you. There's definitely a lot of mainland Chinese involvement here. Now, if Hong Kong and Asia is so bullish, I don't think Bitcoin should be at 34,000. Right now we're like $34,000, $35,000. We're still in midst of our bear market. Honestly, when Chinese money flows, it doesn't just come in, little driplets, right? It's masses. And if this is the preview, I don't think we've seen anything close to what we can see. I honestly think that the potential for Chinese market to move, especially if there's risks of capital flight or something like that, to move this market is just tremendous. But they're being held back. I'll be honest with you. They are very much being held back. And that's because there's a lot of confusion into what the Americans are going to do. You see, the way the Chinese work is that they're not going to crazy buy and FOMO into crypto if the Americans are still playing their little games or the politics and not being clear if Bitcoin's a security or commodity and being just generally confused. What's happening is that the Chinese, a lot of the Chinese I've been speaking to, they're waiting for the right opportunity. So what Chinese money does is they generally test, right? Chinese aren't stupid. They'll test the market, so test the volume. If they drive people to buy and drive investors buy, and if prices move up, they'll continue. And I feel like there's some successes. Look at NEO, right? NEO went from sticking at $6, right? It shot up to 13, right? So all these Chinese tokens, I think the Chinese are experimenting. They're just testing the water to see how much will it move, right? VeChains could be coming next. There could be interest in Polkadot again. So that's what they're doing. They're testing the waters and see if it moves and if it'll get crushed. And if it gets crushed, they'll just wait. Chinese are patient. They'll just wait, right? It's just a logical thing to do, especially if there's also institutional money involved. Institutional money, they don't want to get in on the highest point. They want to build their portfolio over time, and they want to make sure that if there's money to be made, that they make the most, right? This is just clear logic. So I still feel like there's a lot of just kind of like wait and see sort of mentality. There's a lot more events coming up in Hong Kong, and I think that's what everyone's eyeing. They're eyeing these events. They're seeing if this is a small pebble that can slowly move down the mountain and become a landslide. And we're seeing that piece. And that's why we're kind of very early still. I mean, I'm showing you guys everything that's happening in these events, so you can see that pebble slowly grow into a cluster of rocks. Then we can start moving boulders. And when the boulders come, guys, that is going to be freaking nuts. So anyways, guys, that's my take on what is happening in Hong Kong and the 3 kind of surprises I saw along the way. And lastly, guys, if you enjoyed videos like this, make sure you are subscribed to our channel. The subscription button is just right down there. And make sure you have all notifications turned on. This is very important because we're doing a lot more live streams, just direct coverage of events. So if you're subscribed with all notifications, you'll get those, and you get the alpha, the real big intelligence before everyone else, so you can make an informed decision about what's happening. So insight comes from being subscribed. Guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Also, remember, we have a crazy Bybit giveaway on this channel. Basically, 3 iPhone 15 Plus of that I can't even say the words probably. That titanium model, and that's only for this season. So basically, if you deposit more than 100 USDT and you have made more than 1 trade, it gets your user ID gets added to my list, and then we make a live draw to draw a winner for, well, actually not one winner, 3 winners for iPhone 15s Pro Max. So what are you waiting for? Make sure to click that button, subscribe, join Bybit. I'll see you next video. Peace.